It looks like we got some mail. Welcome to White Cup Entertainment. I'm Chris Guns, and today we've got some mail from Nico Rodriguez. Let's check it out, see what we got here. It is his newest comic. Let's see, we also got a letter here. It says, thanks so much for your support, man. I recommend not flipping through the comic too much before reading it. There's some big spoilers, Nico. Well, fuck that. We're gonna be spoiling this on this video here, so let's go through this book right now. First, we got a print of this zombie Ewok here and a couple of copies of the book. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, man. I've been dying to kind of look at this with you guys on the channel. But before we get started, I do want to remind you guys that we do have some Star Wars merch of our own, like some posters and prints. This is our Slab Wars poster, as well as our Fett and the Boys. Get all the bounty hunters right here that showed up in Empire. We also do have a couple of other posters here. We got some of the prints with Grogu from The Mandalorian, as well as Black Chrysanthemum. This is a real cool poster right here. We also do have some more t-shirts with these designs on them as well, too. All of our t-shirts here are screen printed. They're designed and printed by myself and my brother. This is our It's a Trap one. It's our Admiral Akbar, posted up in front of the trap house, as well as a Darth Vader joint here, rocking the infrared 6s here that matches lightsaber. So all of these shirts, like I said, they're all screen printed, designed and printed here in Houston, Texas by myself and my brother. These are available at our store location here in Houston, Texas, 7203 Navigation. Or you can actually purchase them online through our website, whitecupent.com. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this comic book, guys. Let's see what we got here. So what we have is The Night After Endor, a Star Wars story. And basically what this is a bootleg Star Wars story by Houston cartoonist Nico Rodriguez. He has several books here in Houston. You can catch at several of the comic book shops like Bedrock, and I believe in Third Planet as well, too. Roba, the prehistoric wizard. He also has West Not South that you can purchase at those locations. But again, for right now, we're going to be going over this book right here. This takes place, I want to say right after the Death Star explodes in, Return of the Jedi. And it's kind of a horror story, I guess. So let's go through this. Of course, we get the long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And then we get the Night After Endor story and art by Nico Rodriguez. And we get the opening crawl. So let's go through this real quick. It says, it is a time of desperation and victory at the tail end of the Battle of Endor. The Rebel Alliance and their ally Ewoks have pressured the Imperial army to the brink of destruction. The end of the Galactic Empire is nigh. As the Empire army braces for defeat, one last ambush attack has been dealt to the Rebel outpost in the northern ridge of Tempok Woods, which the story takes place in. Rebel trooper Gran Beglos has escaped the attack and searches for a way out of the dense forest. A darkness looms over a sea of trees, and we get our Rebel trooper here, Gran. Again, I guess trying to find his way out of this forest after an ambush. But he knows that he's being tracked by something, not quite sure what it is. It's a monster that he calls it. He knows that it's not a lowly shellhead or AKA a stormtrooper, nor is it a soft jaw Ewok, barely tall enough to reach a speeder bike. So it's something different. It does resemble an Ewok, though. It says there that the dark side has infested the woods of Endor and has resurrected a friendly soldier and turned them into a mountain of evil. So I'm guessing that it just kind of like resurrected one of the dead Ewoks during this battle and turned them into this giant 20-foot tall fucking monster of a zombie Ewok. Says, there is no hope. May the force be with me. And Nico has this real like kind of watercolory storybook illustrations that he does. Kind of lends itself to the creepiness of this overall story. But we end up transitioning up here up into space, I guess above Endor. Where we've got an X-wing fighter, and he's apparently chasing down a TIE fighter that's I guess left over from the battle that they fought. So he's asking permission to fire on this TIE fighter right here. He gets approval, and then we get a couple of pew pews and a pachu, which explodes this TIE fighter. I would have liked to gotten like the weird little goat scream from it, but yeah, so it explodes, and when it explodes, we get this object that comes out of the TIE fighter and starts like heading down towards Endor. We get target down, something strange here. Commander, odd heat signature detected in the TIE fighter's debris. Should I investigate further? And like always, no, they never investigate any of this stuff. He says negative now that the Empire is eliminated. Orders are to evacuate immediately. We don't need any unnecessary casualties. Which I guess, but I mean, you still kind of want to see what this is. It's like that was a whole deal with like in New Hope when C-3PO and R2-D2 kind of like escape into the that pod, and they never just go after it. It's just like, don't worry about it. So we kind of get the same thing here. It's like I said, this thing crash lands into the forest. You see, it has this Empire, this separatist symbol on it. And then we come back to Gron, I believe it is, freaking out, looking at this giant 20-foot like zombie Ewok who's just stalking him through the forest. He's trying to get a hold, I guess, of some other people here, but the connection's down. You get this giant fucking Sasquatch like foot. He's like, think, and he realizes, I guess it's running pretty slow. It's just kind of like trudging toward him, like maybe like an at or a chicken walker. It's not just kind of taking its time. But we see that it doesn't need to kind of like chase after him. It doesn't need to sprint or anything because it apparently has power over the Force. And we see it use a dark force. Looks like a vine that he kind of grabs from it. And he's like, nerf, it wields the Force. So now he's really fucking freaking out. And we get death vines target me like a recon coil or a recon droid. Calling for help is only a formality at this point, obviously, because there's nobody in this forest. Everybody got ambushed and he's a lone survivor. So he's yelling to get away from me, for somebody to please help. And we're going to get what is basically like a Evil Dead, tree raping scene here, but doesn't actually happen. It just kind of like coils around him. No one left from my rebel unit. They were either blown up in the ambush or caught by the snarling creature. So I guess not everybody died in the ambush. I guess he saw some of his cohorts get like ripped apart by that zombie Ewok. And he's freaking out right now. He's being stretched. Looks like he's about to be drawn and quartered. The Zarktide is too strong. There's nothing that I can do to save me. And yeah, it just kind of rips him apart. Like the tree vines wrapped around his arm, his torso, just eviscerates him and tosses his fucking bloody torso into the forest. And we see the zombie Ewok kind of trudging towards him again. But he notices something. He says, an object calls to me. And looks like the Ewok notices it too. Says the noise is faint, but it's real. We see Gron's torso just kind of laying next to this crate that fell out of the TIE fighter that got shot out of the sky earlier. It says heat radiates above my head. It says I know I should be dead right now. No shit, right? He's just literally just a fucking torso. Like, he's pretty much like Vader, but Vader at least had the bottom half of his body and an arm left. This guy is just straight torso, no arms. It says, could this be a spark of light in the dark? And he just kind of rolls his stumpy ass over here to the crate. It says, the utility crate was the crest of the Separatists, a relic of the Clone Wars. So he headbutts it, I guess. Like, yeah, it doesn't have any hands or anything, so he's got to activate it some kind of way to open it. And then, yeah, we get the smoke billowing from the utility crate. And he goes, but it's not just a utility crate. Flip the page, and we get our first spoiler here. It's a crate filled with hate. And we get the armor of General Grievous, a.k.a. General Emphysema. Yeah, so he's kind of surprised about it. It looks like the armor starts like activating or coming to life. Says the spidery metal forms around my legs and arms. Suddenly, my limbs turn into something that belongs under the hood of a Carillion freighter. And essentially, what's happening, I guess, is the armor is possessed. I guess it still has the ghost of Grievous in it. But yeah, it actually kind of just wraps itself around Gron's like torso, his body, what's left of him. It says the mask grabs the back of my head. Something piercing or hot and piercing overtakes my body. And then, yeah, we get a little bit of the cough right here as the armor overtakes his body. The weapon of a Jedi falls into my hand. We see one of the lightsabers. I guess they just didn't take the lightsabers out of him. Just still had him hooked onto his belt or something. There is hope, it says. We turn the page and we get, of course, the ghost of Grievous over here. It apparently infected him, and he has emphysema as well. Smoking too many fucking trees. Hello there, you rotten scum. I am a rebel scum, he says. So, yeah, we see him ignite this blue lightsaber and confront this giant Ewok zombie. And he lets out like a scream. This little starts foaming at the mouth and freaking out, I guess. And we see Grievous's armor kind of like allow Gron to do like this really cool backflip thing onto a tree behind him. Says the saber will haunt you in your afterlife, which I imagine this is his afterlife. He is a giant zombie Ewok. Who's able to wield the dark force, apparently. The dark side of the force. He uses a force lift to rip a tree out of the ground. The Ewoks love to kill things with trees, apparently. But he apparently launches it over here at Gron in the Grievous armor, and he makes short work of it with the blue lightsaber that he has. And yeah, this zombie Ewok looks a little worried. So we get a couple close-ups here of the lightsaber of Gron in the Grievous armor again. The Force, some stuff moving around, a close-up of Grievous's Gron's eye, and he just starts charging at this giant Ewok and apparently just disembowels him. Death to the dark side, it says. Yeah, so just kind of disembowels him. The whole page goes red. And you can see the dead Ewok just laying here, strewn about like the forest ground. You kind of like self-censoring here, I guess Nico did. So he didn't have to draw the guts and everything just falling out like the disembowelment of this giant 20-foot zombie Ewok. Who's just like, again, his insides are falling out. Basically like a tauntaun. I wonder what smells worse, a tauntaun or this 20-foot zombie Ewok's guts, you know what I mean? Says the dark forces nearly took my life. And then we get instead their failure has resulted in my rebirth. We get Grievous frumping forward. Says no longer am I a foot soldier. I'm no longer an injured human afraid of what the Force can do when possessed by evil. I am General Gron. Welcome to my lair. So I guess he's just going to haunt the forces of Endor now, which is kind of cool. It's just like this amalgam of this rebel trooper that was killed by a zombie Ewok infected by the dark side of the Force. And then it's an amalgam of that and General Grievous's haunted armor. So now he just has perpetual cough, I guess, too. But, he's just hanging out in the forest here. And then we get this, the Oceans of Moraband, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the homeworld of the Sith. And there are no oceans there. I believe it's just kind of just like a vast desert. So maybe that's what they're talking about here. And then we get this mysterious figure just kind of like floating up here, and it just says a Sith for a Sith. Brother Sidious, I respect your decision to fall. Your passing has reverberated throughout Endor, throughout the galaxy. Just wait until they hear of your return. So I guess it's kind of like a prelude to what's going to happen, I guess, in the sequel trilogy, where he does in fact come back like the Emperor after being tossed off that railing by Vader. So that is pretty much the end of this story. But then we also kind of get like a follow up, I guess, elsewhere on Endor when I guess they're celebrating the death of the Emperor and the death of the Empire, and them exploding the Death Star. But it says here, it's finally over. We've won. You can kind of see everybody just celebrating right here. No more Vader. No more Empire. No more Vader. A last piece in the galaxy. Now what? And he's talking, I guess, to his homeboy, and his homeboy's just kind of like, well, we wait. We wait for the next regiment, the next tyrant. It's never truly peaceful, Tor, which I guess is the guy that's right here. I don't know his name. Doesn't give a name here yet. Just says a gap in the turmoil. We will see peace for now, so savor it. And then we get a happy little Ewok here, a non-zombie Ewok over here celebrating, but these fuckers are still cannibals, so watch out. It says, look at them, and I enjoy seeing the smiles. A sense of relief echoes in all of us, in us all, rather. I trust that General Organa and the Jedi will protect us. And then his homeboy's like, and if they don't, the darkness sleeps. When it wakes, it comes back even more powerful. So it kind of looks like a Wookiee, but I guess it's still an Ewok here, just kind of sleeping, and then his eyes just kind of open. And then we get, sure, celebrate, Tor, but do not lose your intelligence. And then we get like a lightning strike. It comes down. We're here in the forest, and this weird little creepy Ewok's just kind of chilling right here all by himself. Fucking weirdo. It says the Empire has fallen, but their stench lingers in these trees. And then we get a couple of more of these little creepy guys just kind of standing here. It says, beware, Tor. A hand goes up. It's a creepy Ewok hand. The dark side is always watching. So we have just like this army of like Ewoks just chilling back there. Kind of scary almost. I don't know. I guess they're zombified, and I guess they got resurrected. These are some of the dead Ewoks that the stormtroopers killed. I guess they just came back to life by the dark side. And then we get Tor's hut. He's just kind of sleeping, chilling. I don't know. He's got the lights on. Chilling. He's like, who's there? And we get the lightning cracking down again. He's like, hey guys, are you okay? These three little weird, creepy, fucking Teletubby looking Ewoks. And then we get a close up of one of them, and clearly this motherfucker's got rabies. So it's like, no, call the arms, Master Luke, we need you. And that's the end. So I can imagine like, all these zombie Ewoks just kind of like cannibalized whatever leftover rebels that were here at this campsite. So, and that's it. We end on a real cool watercolor painting of Forest of Endor, and I'm assuming that's probably the TIE fighter that was carrying General Grievous's armor. And we get one of this the face of the yellow-eyed giant zombie Ewok. But yeah, that was the night after Endor, a Star Wars story. I actually kind of like this as well too. This is probably gonna be the thumbnail right here. And again, like I said, this was a cool story to go over. Like I said, I saw this a while back. He was working on it. And glad I got the chance to go over this book with you. So if you guys like this, if you like this review, if you like Nico's artwork, his story, I'll list. You can get this directly through him. I don't carry this in my store, not as of yet anyway. I don't know if you can pick these up in the comic book shops yet. I do know, like I said, that you can get these directly from Nico when he's posted up at a con or a pop-up or something like that. Or if not, I'll list his social media where you can get a hold of him and see if you can get a hold of this book or any of his other books as well too. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment below. If you have a comic book reader that you know that would enjoy reading something like this, or even just reading comic books from local Texas creators, tag them. Let them know about this channel. I'm going to be posting more videos here. There'll be another video here posted on Friday as well too. But yeah, with that all out of the way, I'm going to go roll something. And remember, guys, read your comics, nerds.